Well, good morning and welcome to another Monday morning art talk. So last night I was out with some friends, some people that I meeting for the first time, and just talking to one of the guys that was there. He was just talking about his story, or this has been going on just with his own daughter, who is just pretty much on life support all the time right now. They keep telling her they don't know, but she may die any day now. And she's still at home. She's under care. And I couldn't imagine this pressure what is going through, and just know what is going through. I think she's around 9, 10 years old, and just horrific inside. I mean, it just ripped me up inside, and just thinking, God, afterwards I'm talking to my wife and saying, man, just so the things that we don't think we're fortunate about. And this taps into that gratitude. And I'm so grateful every day that, when having kids, because having kids in general, that was always my biggest fear. Like, well, what if they didn't come out healthy? What if something happens to them? How am I going to handle that? What are you going to do? You can't predict. You don't know what's going to happen. But I'm really grateful that I have two healthy kids, an 11-year-old and 13-year-old, and that all these years, we've never had anything so major. And that's a huge thing. It comes down to the health, and I think about that, to be so grateful if you have your health, to be thankful for your health. When you look in the news and you hear different stories every day, just this girl I was watching who was texting, she looked down on her phone for 1 second to look at a text that her mom sent her, and she smashed into a vehicle. She survived the accident, but was permanently disfigured, just lost her eyesight, lost just her memory, had to relearn everything, and went through everything again at that one little moment. And I thought, my God, what people have gone through in life, and to try to just be upset about and make any small things in life seem like they're really bad things, when really they're not. If that person didn't say the right thing to you, or if this didn't happen and that little thing didn't happen, it's just putting things into perspective. Just, that's something I do all the time, and it makes me realize, wow, how grateful all the time for those little moments, and tapping into the gratitude and being grateful about things. I just wanted to tell you just a little bit about my backstory as a child, what I went through and what I experienced. I mean, I grew up sort of middle class in England. Most of you guys know, but I was one of 5 kids. I have a twin brother, and we were just kind of the last ones my parents had. So I think they were just kind of like, hey, we're done sort of raising you, you're on your own sort of thing. They weren't as attentive as, I mean, they were great parents. I had a great childhood, but they weren't as attentive as, really monitoring everything we do, like we do with our kids now, where we're just, in a sense, helicopter them, just looking over them, making sure they're making the right friends, doing the right things. And in that time where I was living in England, it wasn't. And I did just some horrible things as a kid. I broke into my next door neighbor's house when I was a kid, and they would go on. It was a house that was there, and they would leave for a long amount of time, and they would rent it out to different people. And I remember breaking in through the bathroom window with my friend, and I'm with my twin brother, and we spray painted all over the house and just did some horrible stuff back then. I did things, one of my biggest regrets, one time when I was a little kid, I went off to summer camp, and there was a kid that had a little, toy that he bought, and it was a little donkey. And I must have been about 7 years old or something, and we were all in the same room, and I took it from him. And I kept it, and I gave it to my grandma as a present, as a gift from me. And I think I did such horrible things, other horrible things. I used to shoplift all the time. I really think that I used to have G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe were the things that I collected. And me and my brother, we would just go into the stores. And this is before they had all the sensors that beep, 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 and did all that. We would go in and look around, make sure no one's looking, and rip these toys out of their packaging and shove them in our jackets. And it was just, when I was thinking about all the bad stuff that I did, my cat killed a bunch of rats in my backyard, and I wrapped it up in paper and lit it on fire and threw it on my next door neighbor's roof, which was made out of wood. Luckily, the house didn't burn down. I'm telling you guys, all these horrible things that I did, and I just think about sometimes how I made it through without almost going to prison, without going to jail, without doing things. I just did. I just lived a life of unknowing, just not even thinking about consequence. And it wasn't until later on in life where I just started to, just something snaps and you just start to think about consequence of what may be the result, or how I'm affecting and hurting other people's lives and doing things. And I used to get in fights, and there was a whole different side to me. I wanted to, I wasn't thinking about wanting to be an artist so much back then. I was always drawing, but I was just so caught up in my own little world and doing my own little thing and getting into, high school and just doing horrible things along the way. When I hear other people, they're good kids, and I never would in a billion years want my kids to be like that. I would be horrified. And it's funny to me that my parents would always, where'd you get all these toys from? Oh, my friend Johnny, he's letting us borrow them. And yeah, I used to steal a lot. I'm ashamed to say I used to steal a lot. I don't know what it was. I don't know, being brought up in England, and it was just a different world and a different time. And I don't know. I think you were so free. I was so free. I just roaming all over the place. It was just like whatever, I wanted to do. And I don't know. I don't know where it sort of came from, because my parents were never like that. And they always tried to instill the best in us, and always try to, teach us to be independent and go out and just forge your own way, and don't rely on other people, and work hard. And my parents, I never knew my dad would drive when we went to sleep at night to make money. He was like the first Uber. He was driving our car to pick up drunks in front of the bars and drop them off home without being a taxi driver. And he wasn't doing that. And it's things that, man, I never knew that. They never even told us, because they didn't want us to see, what was sort of happening. And then we, moved to America, and that was a whole new experience as I came to America at 10 years old. And I thought everyone had basketball courts and swimming pools, and that was my envision of America. And again, I don't know when it just really snapped for me. It must have been I think maybe more towards in high school, where I was drawn from my high school newspaper and started to get very inquisitive and wanted to know what other artists did and how it works. And I'd try to go and listen to other artists' stories. And if I knew an artist was speaking somewhere, I would go and listen and just trying to learn it all and take it all in. And then just became that switch. And then the real sort of dedication. Academically, I did horrible in school. I would have failed high school if it honestly wasn't for my twin brother, because I cheated all through school too. That was another thing I did. I cheated all the time. I cheated my way through so many things just to get out of it. And the one thing that I realized I couldn't cheat my way out of was pretending how to draw. I couldn't. There was no shortcuts. I couldn't cheat that. I had to show what I could do in order to convince other people that I could do the job, to get the job and do those things. And maybe that was it. I knew I couldn't cheat my way through that. Bad art was bad art. Good art was good art. And people are going to know the difference, and people are going to see the difference. And that's what maybe was the change that sort of happened through me in my life, going through that, and just maybe wanting to try things. Maybe that's part of my risk taking. I think I was a risk taker as a young kid, where I just did things, and people would chase me, and getting horrible things, and climbing over people's fences, and doing horrible things, all these crazy things. But maybe there was that risk taking that I did, of sort of like not being so afraid when I did those things, where, yeah, technically you could get really busted, and I wasn't even a citizen of the United States. And my dad always warned me, if, he never knew we were doing that, but he'd always warn us, if you boys ever get into trouble, if you ever get arrested, if you ever do something, you could get us kicked out of the country. We could lose our visas and our green card and all that. And he'd always warn us, but it's like, yeah, whatever. I didn't care. And then, and then amazingly enough, just through, I think, just my pure determination and willingness to not be afraid of things and try things, that I just did things, and everything just led to another. Because what I've realized too so much is just like everything's connected. Everything's connected in every way. There's all the people we come across in our lives. There's a connection, which is important to understand. That the books you're going to read, the podcasts you're going to listen to, the movies you're going to watch, you're going to hear something which is going to launch you and drive you into something else that you may not have realized was there. And it's this continuous, connection of just being open and being out there that makes things kind of happen for you. But anyway, that was my sort of my journey, just a little bit, not a clean past by any means. And I'm grateful that I never went to prison. I'm grateful that I never went, was never arrested. I'm grateful that I didn't become just a real thug. And I think maybe that's what my parents might have been afraid of when we were just living in England, that was the direction that they maybe saw that we were going down. And we came to America because it's the land of opportunity. And that's what I came here believing, that this America was the land of opportunity. But yeah, it's a miracle, and I'm grateful. And for whatever reason, things worked out, and I turned to the other side, and I realized that I'm going to start doing good things. And maybe, who knows, maybe that's where part of my, feeling of want to give back so much, because I think I took away from so many people before, and I really have that feeling inside just to give and benefit other people because of, maybe that. I'm so fortunate to have such a great, loving, beautiful wife who just supports me in everything I do and makes my life great. And I'm so grateful for her and what she does. And she understands, my mindset. She understands my passion for art. And it's just really, I'm just sitting here just pondering all this stuff. I remember my very first girlfriend, I just treated horribly. It was just like, I was just felt I was better, and this was in high school, and I just thought I was just better, and it was kind of disgusting. And I remember there was a girl in high school who always used to come. Well, I always find notes in my locker. I think I told that story. I'm not going to tell that story again. But this is all coming out now. It's kind of weird. But anyway, it was a horrible thing. But I turned the cheek. I turned to the other side. I turned to the good side. I was once on the bad side. But maybe this is a life story of telling you guys, no matter where you're at in your life, you can always turn it around. I think once you make the commitment to do that, once you all of a sudden decide for yourself that, you know what, I don't want this anymore. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to quit doing this from now on. And once you make that real conscious decision to do that, you can turn things around no matter what situation, no matter where you're living, no matter what you're doing in life. And maybe you're in a certain situation that you're so uncomfortable with that you don't like, and you're miserable and you're creating misery for others. And maybe it's you need to just make that switch and do yourself a favor and get out of that environment and move on and do something else and take some serious risks. That don't get you landed in prison, but take some serious risks that take you to another place. Maybe it's another country. Maybe it's another city. You got to do these things and explore this world and explore what it has to offer. And once again, try anything, do anything, and see what this great life can bring you. And just be thankful and grateful every day that, again, you have your eyesight, that you can draw with your hand, that you have a computer to even work on. That you have mentors in life, whoever they may be. And I think those are important things just to really take into your consideration. All right, you guys have a great week. Thanks for listening to this crazy story. You guys know it all now. And I'll talk to you next week. Take care. Bye. Hello, this is Steven, and I just wanted to tell you about this cool thing that I'm doing right now through my website at silvertunes.com. It's a Skype mentorship. In a sense, what I want to do is just talk to you, meet you, tell me about things that are happening in your life, see if there's anything that I could do to help you. I can look over your artwork, do your portfolio, and just maybe try to push you in the right direction that you want to take your life and your journey. All right, so you can go to silvertunes.com, go to classes, click on mentorship, and you can learn all about it. We can try to arrange a time, set up a date. It doesn't matter where you live in the world. And I just wanted to make it just very affordable, just to open it up, because I love doing this. I love meeting people from all over the planet. It's a really cool thing. And with this technology, why not? So that's it. Thanks. Whoa. Hey. Go back. Go back.
Go back.
Great. Go back. Go back.